Hey, great students. Welcome to our student interview for today. I'm here with Eli, and we're going to be chatting it up and just talking about some of Eli's experiences. So, Eli, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name's Eli. I'm 16. I am a junior in high school, and I go to Grace Youth
And that's it.
every Wednesday. Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. You are pretty good about going, but not right now because you've had to stay
Well,
home.
yeah,
You haven't had
yeah.
it. So it's all. It's all. Nothing interesting.
I mean,
You have any hobbies?
I play drums. I act in some community theater stuff.
What community theater do you participate in?
Usually with Thalian Hall, um, but last summer I was with Opera House.
In Wilmington?
Yes.
Where is Opera House at?
They are. Their main area is right across the bridge in downtown Wilmington. So from where I live, it's
Okay.
across the bridge. And it's at an old school that they just converted into their place of business.
Cool. So how has since we've kind of been social distancing, have you been able to do any like distancing programs with them, or is it kind of all just on hold?
Yeah, no, I've been doing virtual like video auditions. I did an audition with Opera House for this coming summer's programs, and then just on Sunday, I believe, I sent in another audition for Performance Club Kids for their summer shows.
What are those shows? Are we privy to that information?
Um, I am, but I don't know if I can tell you. No, I'm kidding. It's they're putting on Moana and Tuck Everlasting.
So are you going to be the chicken from Moana? Hey, hey.
I'm hoping. I'm
I
hoping.
mean, I feel like I've seen that movie once or twice, and I feel
Yeah.
like he could really pull off that role.
Yeah.
Actually, the actor that did that he's a really good actor. So
Yeah.
hey, so it's not all negative, but
Yeah.
dude, he's like the emotional crux of the whole movie. Without
Yeah. Yeah.
is there
There's
conflict
no anchor.
resolution? I don't think so. I don't think so.
There's no anchor to the story.
Yeah, it's just flat and it just sails out to sea, pun intended. Anyway, so part of all of those different things with auditioning and playing drums, right? There's a sense of always getting better and kind of self-improvement on there. So what are some, that's our topic for today is just self-improvement. So we'll look at kind of from a personal aspect, a physical aspect, then we'll see how we can do that scripturally, what does the Bible say about our ability to improve ourselves, and where is that a biblical concept, or how far do we take that? So from your standpoint, your experiences with all these different trying out in theaters and that world, improving and always being better, because there's no guarantees, right? There's no guarantee that you get your part.
Yeah.
So what is your experience with self-improvement in that area?
I think that I definitely have improved. From I basically I started acting in 2017, right at the end of 2017. The first play I was ever in was I was up in New Hampshire. It was called The Secret in the Wings. And so first show I was ever in, and they gave me a lead role. And I was gonna audition for more stuff, but then the spring of 2018, I got an email from the director. He basically runs all the youth program shows at the Playhouse. And he gave me an email and he said, "Hey, we want you to be in the stage reading for Holocaust Remembrance." So he gave me another role in there because he thought I could do it, and I think I did well. And then since from moving down here, I've been in more shows, and I've gotten speaking roles. I'm not just a background character, but with musicals, they aren't my strong suit. I'm more of a acting in a play kind of person. But I am trying out for musicals, and I have gotten in a few. So I think I'm getting better with the vocal talent as well.
Gotcha. So with this idea of self-improvement, how important do you think it is to try to improve on your craft specifically, or just to not stay satisfied with where you are currently?
I think it's really important, especially I feel like I think that because of how much time I had devoted to gymnastics. Because I was a gymnast up until 2017 when I injured my elbow and had to get surgery. Um, but even still, I kept my baseline tumbling from when I left off. And recently, I've been working to try and improve that, even though I'm not still in gymnastics. I know the basics enough that I can work on higher level skills and stuff. And we just recently bought a trampoline, so even now I can practice out in the backyard on trying to learn some new stuff. So improving in what you do is a big part of it, because if you're just stagnant, you will eventually lose that. Um, so you have to keep where you are with practice and then try and push yourself beyond that as well.
Yeah, I think certain there's a fine line between being content and becoming complacent. I know in my own life that's something that I've struggled with, of hey, like I don't need a whole lot of things, or I'm happy with where I'm at right now. But then if we allow that contentment, it can become complacency. So is striving to become better, I think, really helps us toe that line of, of contentment, of not always, well, I need something just for the sake of needing something, or I need to improve just for the sake of improving. But when we talk about personal growth, there's an aspect of it that we are content with our abilities, but there's a content that we keep growing, we keep learning, which I think is a really biblical concept. And really, the entire book of Proverbs is dedicated to this idea of helping youths, right? Kids grow. I mean, so I'm just going to read real quick Proverbs, just the introduction. Kind of, it tells us what Proverbs is all about, and kind of the importance of self growth, of continuing to learn and continuing to grow. So Proverbs 1, just a couple verses here. It says, "The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instructions." So basically, the whole introduction, the whole purpose of Proverbs is to give wisdom to the younger generation, to students like yourself. And so this idea of personal growth, and specifically in gaining knowledge and gaining wisdom, is a very biblical concept. So it's something that we continue to strive for. We push ourselves in our craft, like you're doing with acting, or with gymnastics, or music, whatever. You're always growing. It's a continual thing. There's an aspect of learning that goes along with that. How important, in your experience with increasing your ability in your different crafts and personal growth, is learning from somebody who does it better, like maybe the director? Or what role does learning play in your personal growth, do you think?
For me, learning from people who know more plays a huge role, especially in music, because I received my drum set as an early birthday gift last summer, and up until about September, I didn't have any lessons. So I tried to pick it up, and I tried to just play on it, but I didn't have any foundation of how to do it correctly. I didn't have any form. I didn't have any idea on how you have to have a certain pattern at some points to keep, because drum is essentially like a supporting instrument for the majority of songs. So you have to have like a set one count that keeps the whole song anchored. And I didn't understand that until after I learned from my drum teacher. And then for gymnastics, there was this one kid who was he was about 2 or 3 years older than me, and he had been doing gymnastics longer than me. And when I was learning the basic stuff, he was way ahead of me. But from watching him while I was still learning the basics, when I got to that point, I understood what I had to do and like the idea of what the skill was supposed to be. So that way I could do it. And then the coaches also taught me, like, you have to swing your legs through here and try and let go. And essentially everything around me and the other people who knew more taught me how to do it, which has led me to this place where I can teach myself new tricks because I've seen them done before by other people.
Yeah, there's a couple different facets there, I think, with the learning, and I think you touched on it there with you can kind of teach yourself things, but there's certain nuances and there's certain aspects of tricks or styles that you're trying to learn that you really do need somebody to come along and teach you that aids in self-growth. So it's not just I do it all by myself. There's some exterior influences that need to come into play on those ends.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing your experiences with acting, and because I mean, I think that again, just really all of this needs to come from you and your experiences. So really appreciate your thoughts in that way. So a couple more questions before we close. You shaved your head. Why?
I did.
Why did you shave your head?
On my Instagram story, I think I touched on the reasoning. I thought we're in quarantine. It's gonna be a while. So by the time I really get to go out and see my friends again, my hair's probably gonna be back. And it doesn't look like it, but my hair has actually grown quite a bit in these past like 2 or 3 weeks that I've cut my hair. It was really trimmed, but now if I push up against it, it's taller than my finger.
There you go.
And it was close to completely bald when I cut it.
Did you cut it yourself, or did you have somebody else cut it for you?
I had my mom cut it.
I was going to ask, is there anyone in your house that you would trust to cut your hair?
I mean, history says I shouldn't trust my mom because I have a scar on my ear from her essentially snipping the tip of my ear off. So I probably shouldn't trust her with it, but most haircuts now have to be from her because of quarantine and all that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could have done like a sweet like ponytail, like the dude in your background.
I mean, I could have.
Always an option. Ponytails are always an option. Okay.
Yeah.
We got a couple more. What is one thing that you're looking forward to after quarantine to get back to doing?
Besides
coming to youth group, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Well, that would have to be Sunday morning church with you. I'm really looking forward to, I know school's not going to come back this year, but next school year, I'm really looking forward to it because, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I hate school, but I miss having a regular schedule and, you know, seeing people and being social. As soon as quarantine ends, though, I'm probably going to try and hang out with the homies, you know. Really missing the homies.
Let's be honest here, the homie, not plural. Probably only like
you. Well, I don't know. I have a very wide friend group because of all the things that I do.
Yeah, pretty eclectic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So then, who in your house? I think I've asked this before, but who in your house
annoys me the most?
Is the easiest to get along with?
Easiest to get along.
Do you think going quarantine it would be different?
The easiest to get along with is definitely my youngest sister, Caroline. We all call her Cookie. But she's generally really easy to get along with. Like a few days ago, I convinced her to if I took her to McDonald's, she would buy herself a milkshake, some fries, and then she also bought me chicken nuggets. And all I had to do was drive her there.
There you go. That's called the I fly, you buy principle, just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
are you surprised that she was, or did you think it'd be somebody else going into quarantine?
Well, up until really this past year, her and I didn't get along very well. But even before quarantine, we had gotten along better than the past.
So about accurate.
Yeah.
Cool. So final question. If you've watched any of the previous videos, you know it's coming. What is your current hand scent soap scent that you're
Soap
using?
scent?
Soap scent.
Oh gosh. I don't think it has a scent.
Doesn't clean, just no scent.
I think it just cleans.
Just cleans. It's like the hospital disinfectant soap.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think it just cleans.
No scent. No nonsense in your household then. No, fair enough. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to share your experience with us and share your thoughts with us. We will talk to you soon. Again, if you guys need anything, please let me know. But thanks again for jumping on.
All right.
We'll talk to you.